LaVar, I'm sure this may be news to you, but there was the chance that Scottie Scheffler's wife, who is currently due any day to go into labor, that he said it's the birth of his first child, that he was just going to leave the Masters and or withdraw and go to see the birth of his child.
Just
Would
think
you
about
have
that.
handled it the exact same way?
Well, I just feel like anything would be better than playing the Masters. I mean, pouring a bowl of cereal. You know?
So you think he is begrudgingly out there, just dominating everything? He's like, oh, I have to do this again.
Seriously, though, I wouldn't be able to live with myself if I chose my job or chose anything else over family in a situation. Like if something were to happen to the child, if something were to happen to the missus, I wouldn't be able to live with that. So I would certainly go and and be of support. Now the better question to me would be, would you go if it was a second or third or fourth child? See, to me, I think a first child is a no-brainer. But then you ask yourself, which is crazy, right? Because you got to ask yourself, would you do it if it was the next one? Because it's like, we did it. Like, I know she should be okay, da-da-da, this, that. You're assuming that, I guess. But would you do it for a second, like one after the first?
I would say, just to be fair, I wouldn't go for any of them. I wouldn't want one to feel more important than the other.
That's a great point. And also, Jonas is the type that, he puts his job before anything else.
Yeah.
He really
he's
does.
kind of that, old school dad mentality where he's hey, no matter what, you show up to work, all right? Let me tell you something.
Yes.
All right?
That's, now
when the bell rings, you're going to get out there and you're going to go work.
Get up off the stool. All right.
I don't care what sentimental moment is in your life. You get off that stool, you go out there, you go to work.
In fact, when I knew my wife was going into labor, I called Scott Shapiro and said, "You need anything covered? Anything. Editing shift, producer shift. I'll take anything."
He was looking for work, looking to stay busy.
There's nothing there. So while she was giving birth to our son, I grabbed a broom and a mop and started cleaning up around the room a little bit. I had to make myself useful.
Can I be honest? You know what I would have done?
What would you have done?
I would have, because you're not allowed to have cell phones out there at Augusta National.
You're not?
So, no.
Oh, so even better.
So what I would have done is if they ran someone out to tell me that, hey, your wife's going into labor, we got to go, I would take a pause and I'd write a note. I'd be like, please go tell her this. And I would say, you bite that lip and you hold on. You hold that baby in there until I finish this round, all right?
Dang.
And you try to do both. You try to go for glory, and you try to make it back in time to see the birth of the child.
That's cold-blooded, Q.
What?
That's cold-blooded.
It's a team game, man.
Well, you should have wrote the letter to the baby, because once that baby decides, unless it was
that is the feat of the mom, right?
Dang.
The same day that he wins the Masters for the second time, she also wins the Masters by being able to keep him inside or keep her inside until that baby is able to get out there so Scottie can see it.
Yeah, and plus
that might have been the funniest thing because my mind is really nasty. That was really funny to me. But I get what you're saying.
Anyone who's been through the birth of a child and the labor and the pains, everything else, it's no one ever talks about if they were going to try to hold it in, how that would work. Is that less labor intensive?
I just
if
don't
the
see
baby's
how you
coming, it's coming. But we all kind of realize the pain and have been a part of the pain, the push, everything else with that.
Yeah.
But then I wonder, what happens if they're trying to keep it in? How does that work?
I don't think it works.
All right, so
I don't think so either.
I want to try this, Lorena.
Oh no.
Say your husband is leading the Masters. He's got a 4-stroke lead.
That's a big payday too, by the way.
Oh,
Lorena.
huge payday, and that sweet green jacket. Would you be okay if you were going into labor if he said, hey, I trust you. I think you got this one. I got work to do here. How would that land with you?
Well,
First child.
You see, no, it wouldn't fly.
Really?
It wouldn't fly.
Is that like grounds for divorce?
Is it a deal breaker?
I don't know if it's a deal breaker, but I would need to see all intents and purposes of you trying to get back as fast as possible. You shouldn't want me to be alone.
All right, and I don't.
Okay, so
we did this together. We got into this together. We need to,
Right, but you also would be sacrificing $3.6 million.
You know what? Maybe you can stay.
I mean, the baby's not going to know. You could probably just doctor the photos after the fact.
Yeah, agreed.
I mean, $3.6 million goes a long way.
You do have a point there. Yeah, you know what? You just stay.
So you put a price tag on that baby. Golly, y'all are horrible.
Hey.
It's horrible.
I'm just throwing out all perspectives.
We can always have another kid.
My ass. Dang.
LaVar is such a nice guy.
I just wouldn't be able to live with myself, man. If something didn't. And in fact, not only that, but if you've ever had a child, the moment that child comes into the world and that child hears your voice, that like reaction that you're able to see.
Yeah.
There's just certain things I wouldn't want to miss.
LaVar, it's Augusta National.
Well,
especially Augusta National.
Because LaVar said, hey, if it's your second or third, it would be different. Well, I guess the other better question is, Scottie Scheffler's already won a Masters. So does it if it was going to be his first, would that change the circumstances?
That's a great question. That is a great question.
Let's say, for example, LaVar, you were playing in a Super Bowl. And you already had one.
Hey, Q, I'm going to put it to you like this. If I'm in a situation where that 3.6 matters to the security of our family, like say we got bills we got to pay and stuff like that, and I'm not like on that whole wealthy type kick, I'm doing it for the necessity of being able to financially take care of us. So that would be, to me, I feel like that would be that would be a justification.
But let's play out the Super Bowl scenario. So let's say you've already won one. Does that make it easier then to walk away and go for the birth? As compared to like you're playing for your first, you might not ever get back there again.
See, if it was, and I never made it to a Super Bowl. So if we're heading into the Super Bowl, in fact, I had this happen. We were in the playoffs, and we had gotten to the point where we were past due, and it was like, you can leave.
She was
and
past
go play.
Due.
Yeah, but we're making this a we thing. So if it's her past due, then you go have the baby. Yeah. But if it's a we thing and we're past due, it's do you make the decision to go to Tampa and play in the game?
There's no expiration date on LaVar Arrington.
No,
that's all I know.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah,
and that's a shirt. Anyway, so I go and I play the game, and on everything, we get back to the facility. After the game, I get to the house, and I lay down, and I hear her, and I look up, and it's a puddle. And I was like, you might.
Wait, was Lee there? Could have been his puddle.
I was like, look, you might want to get like, what's going on? Like, you might want to get. I was so tired, I didn't even comprehend what was taking place. I was like, you might want to get that up before you come to bed, like,
I mean, at least have the DC to put a wet floor sign up. I mean, good God,
But that's the story of Marley. Marley waited for me to get back.
See, that's a sweetheart right
She
there.
went into labor literally 5 minutes upon me getting back into the house. Literally.
And that was
that's pretty crazy.
That was right after you guys ruined Chris Sims' career, correct?
Yeah. Yeah, Chris Sims. Yeah.
Okay. Just wanted to be clear on that.
We didn't ruin it, but he definitely, he was the quarterback.
But didn't he have like a punctured lung or something like that?
Was it spleen?
Yeah, something like that. He almost bled out. He was tough.
Was that? No. Remember, like, I think you become more vulnerable if you have mono or something. Was that the story?
Yeah, it could have been. Yeah, there was something like he went into the game with something, and then he suffered the injury, and it was just never the same. I mean,
so we really did jack up his career.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
I never knew that story.
Ruined it.
That was breaking news to me.
Yeah, because your spleen can become more enlarged. when infected with mononucleosis or mono, you should not be a part of contact sports until you fully recover.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. A lot of people don't realize they have mono until after the fact. But it's actually kind of common. But I believe he was dealing with that.
A nasty person's disease?
They say it's the kissing person's disease.
Right, the kissing
I mean,
deal.
you probably had mono then, if that's the case.
Yeah.
I've never had
You
mono.
Casanova, you.
Yeah.
I've never had mono.
You know, some people call it Happy Valley. I heard when LaVar was there, it was called Love Valley.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Well, they wouldn't be lying. I mean, it would be a lie. If I was being honest, it wouldn't be a lie. I am a lover, not a fighter. But back to being there.
You spent some time in Virginia, right? I mean, Virginia's for lovers.
Virginia's. That's where all my kids have been. Well, only one wasn't born in Virginia.
When they were consummated?
I don't know about that. Don't know about that. But three of them were born in Virginia. Yep, 3 of them. The twins and Marley were born in Virginia. Yep.
Now, I got another question here. Let's say Scottie Scheffler did leave because his wife was going into labor. How would you feel if you were the second one, like Ludwig Aberg? Like, how would you feel if you were him and you won? Left. Yeah, just because his wife went into labor.
I'm going to take it.
Really?
And not even think about it.
I would feel odd about it.
In my mind, I'm like, I was going to get him anyway. And you'll never know.
Nobody was getting him, though.
You'll never know.
I
guess it depends, right? Like, I guess it depends. Like, if he's like one shot away and they're like, she's going to blow now, you got to go now. You know what I mean? Like, I guess if it's one of those things.
What do you think it is, a bomb?
Yeah, that is birth.
I always wonder about that. Like, if after the fact, because I'd want to know that I did it on my own and there was no other assistance. It's like the guy who was announced Tour de France winner because Lance Armstrong and a bunch of other guys pissed hot after the fact. It's like, I didn't get to go on the stage. I didn't do it on my own. It feels a little fraudulent.
Can I be a Debbie Downer here, though? Like, if you really think about it, I do
hold
believe.
on. If you're going to be Debbie Downer, then we need, if you could bring back one final time here for 2024.
Oh, my gosh.
Go ahead.
No, you killed my vibe. This killed my vibe.
What are you talking about?
If you're going into labor for the first time with your first child and you're going to have that baby, chances are Scheffler doing his shuffle.
Scheffler.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
Would have more than enough time to finish off the field. Win that green jacket. Put the green jacket on. Even have a toast or two before having to depart to go make the birth of the child as labor began. From the time that water broke until the time the crowning of that head would take place, you might have about, 9, 10 hours or more before that child comes. So if you are a rookie out there and you're about to have a child and you go into labor, don't panic. That baby isn't coming very quickly. You got time. Tell her to relax. Set a spell. Take your shoes off. Y'all come back now, you hear? And that's my Debbie Downer of a message. So I don't even think he would have had to have left, even if they said her water broke. He could have finished. Yeah. Now, if it was a day out, that's different. But if he was on the last round, he probably could have finished and still made it to see the birthing. Now, I could be wrong. I am not a medical expert, but I do know I do believe that's something that I read or what, like I used to watch the baby birthing shows and all that stuff, like when we were pregnant, did a lot of research and stuff. And I do believe first time out, if you're going natural, it's going to be a while.
Yeah. Well, listen, it worked out. And hopefully
it did work out.
Hopefully a healthy baby on the way for the Scheffler family, and he can celebrate in a brand new green jacket, his second in 3 years. So
maybe you name him Master. Master Scheffler.
That something tells me that wouldn't end well.
No?
I feel like some people would get a hold of that on social media and have some fun with it. So,
Okay.
a lot of ways you could take that one.
I'm just saying, maybe. I mean, it's still called the Masters.
You know what's interesting about it is like there's Master P, Master Teague.
There you
right?
go.
He was a running back for Ohio State.
Great name.
There you go.
Yeah.
I didn't go down that lane. Jonas did.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, Jonas
did.
went
What
down
lane are you talking about?
the master lane, and they would get a hold of that on social media and have fun with that.
Yeah, Master of Puppets, Metallica.
There you go,
that.
Master of Puppets.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, sure. Okay.